You sit down to work with a clear plan in your mind. You tell yourself today will be different from yesterday. You open the document and stare at the first blank line. Then a strange restlessness rises somewhere in your chest. Within 4 minutes, your hand drifts towards your phone again. You blink, and somehow an entire hour has dissolved. The work you actually cared about still sits untouched. You feel a quiet shame you cannot quite name out loud. You wonder why focus felt so much easier a few years ago. The reason is hidden in plain sight, and almost no one is talking about it. You are not lazy. You are not weak. Something has shifted underneath you. Your attention used to last longer than this. You remember reading whole books. You remember long uninterrupted afternoons. That version of you was not stronger or more disciplined. That version of you simply lived in a very different environment. The environment changed faster than your nervous system could adapt to it. Your brain is now running on outdated software. Most people blame the mills for this exhausting collapse. They search for discipline hacks and stricter morning routines. None of it touches the real wound underneath. Because the real wound is not behavioral at all, it is neurological, and it has a precise name almost nobody uses correctly. It is called dopamine baseline collapse. Once you understand it, your entire focus story changes shape forever. Picture this. You are working on something genuinely important. A single notification appears at the edge of your screen. Your brain receives a tiny chemical reward just from seeing it. You have not even read the message yet. That micro-reward was once incredibly rare in human life. Now it happens hundreds of times a day, every day. Your reward system was never designed for this volume. It was built for scarcity, not for constant, abundant supply. So your baseline slowly rises without you noticing. What used to feel exciting now feels flat. What used to feel boring now feels unbearable. But there is something even more surprising about this whole pattern. The collapse is not caused by the obvious villains. It is not just social media, though that contributes. It is not just your phone, though that contributes. The real culprit is something far more invisible. It is the speed of reward, not the source of it, the speed of arrival. Your brain has learned that meaningful reward should arrive within seconds. Anything slower than that now feels like punishment. Deep work, by its very definition, delivers reward slowly. The book chapter, the hard email, the long task. So when you try to focus, your brain protests loudly. It is not refusing the work itself. It is refusing the weight. This is the part most productivity advice never mentions. Discipline cannot override a miscalibrated reward system from the inside. You can white-knuckle your way through one difficult afternoon. You cannot white-knuckle your way through an entire life. The fix is not more willpower or motivation. The fix is rebuilding your tolerance for slow reward. That changes everything downstream. Think about what your typical day looks like right now. You wake up and reach for your phone almost immediately. Before your eyes have fully opened, you have already consumed dozens of micro-rewards. Your baseline is spiked before breakfast. Then you try to focus on real work later. Your brain compares it to the morning flood. Real work loses every single time. This is why focus feels harder than it used to feel. You are not actually competing with the task. You are competing with your morning. What neuroscience discovered next changes everything we thought we knew. Researchers found that the first 90 minutes of your day calibrate the entire day. Whatever you feed your brain in those first minutes sets the dopamine ceiling. Everything afterward is measured against that ceiling. If your morning is full of fast rewards, slow work feels broken later. If your morning is quiet, slow work feels alive. This single discovery is more powerful than any focus app ever built, and almost no one actually applies it. Because applying it requires sitting with real discomfort, the discomfort of a slower morning, the discomfort of an unstimulated mind. Most people think becoming a billionaire looks dramatic. They imagine champagne, luxury cars, massive houses. But boredom is not the enemy you think it is. Boredom is the doorway. Boredom is your brain recalibrating in real time. If you have experienced this, you are not alone, and you are not broken. You are simply overstimulated and underrested. The good news is that the system that collapsed can also be rebuilt. Your brain is more flexible than you think. But the rebuild does not happen through extreme dramatic measures. It does not require a 30-day complete digital detox. It happens through small, consistent acts of restraint. Acts that feel painfully boring at first. Acts that feel quietly powerful later. Here is the first one and the most important. For the first 60 minutes after waking, no screens, no phone, no exceptions. This single rule does more for your focus than any productivity system ever invented. It resets your dopamine ceiling every single day. You will resist this rule at first, hard. Your brain will manufacture urgent reasons to check something. Notice the manufacturing happening. That urge is not real urgency at all. It is withdrawal dressed up as importance. Watch it pass without obeying it. Within 4 or 5 days, something quiet shifts. Your morning thoughts grow longer and deeper. Your patience grows visibly wider. The second rule is harder than the first one. When you sit down to work, set a timer for 25 minutes. During those minutes, you do one thing only. If your mind wanders, you do not switch tasks. You return to it. The return is the actual training, not the focus itself. The return is where the muscle quietly grows. Most people quit during the return moment. They feel the boredom and assume they failed somehow. They have not failed. They are training. What is coming next is the exact method that fixes this. It is called the slow reward stack. You take 3 activities you find boring but genuinely valuable: reading, walking without a podcast playing, writing by hand. You do one of them alone for 30 minutes every day, no music, no background noise, no second screen open. These activities feel painful and slow at first. That pain is your dopamine baseline lowering. That pain is actual healing. After 2 weeks of this, something strange begins to happen. The activities that felt boring start to feel rich. Your senses sharpen quietly. You begin noticing details in conversations you missed before. The taste of food becomes louder. The world becomes noticeably slower around you. This is not mysticism or spiritual nonsense. This is your reward system returning to factory settings. This is your focus coming home to you. Comment which of these patterns describes your daily focus struggle the most. Drop a single word that names it for you. If this is hitting close to home, type the word focus in the comments below. It helps the channel reach others who need this. Now stay with me, because the deepest part is still ahead. This next part will explain something about your brain you have never been able to articulate. There is a real reason your focus disappears faster now than it did even 2 years ago. The collapse is accelerating right now. It is accelerating because every app you use is being optimized against you. Every update makes the reward arrive faster. The platforms are not standing still and waiting. They are studying your hesitation and erasing it. They are studying your boredom and filling it. You are inside an arms race you never agreed to enter. The other side has billions of dollars, and your full attention as the prize. This is exactly why your old strategies stopped working for you. The opponent got stronger while you used the same defenses. You cannot win this race by simply trying harder anymore. You can only win it by completely changing the terrain. Changing the terrain means designing your environment before the day begins, not relying on willpower in the difficult moment. Put your phone in another room entirely when you work, not face down on the desk, another room. The distance matters more than the gesture. Use a single browser tab for deep work sessions. Close every other thing on the screen. Friction is your friend now. Decide the night before what your first task will be tomorrow. Decisions made in advance survive low willpower moments much better. These small changes look almost unimpressive on paper. They feel almost too simple to actually matter. That is precisely why they work. Because the hidden reason your focus disappears is not traumatic at all. It is mundane and boring. Mundane problems need mundane solutions. The dramatic interventions, the retreats, the apps, the supplements, all miss the point. They are reactions, not real redesigns. Redesign your morning. Redesign your inputs. Redesign your reward speed. Your focus returns on its own quietly. You do not need to chase it down anymore. You need to stop poisoning it daily. There is a real difference between those. Most of your focus problem is not the work in front of you. It is the hour that came before the work. Fix the hour, and the work fixes itself. Fix the morning, and the entire year begins to bend in your direction. Here is your direct challenge for tonight. Tomorrow morning, do not touch your phone for the first 60 minutes. Not once. Walk, stretch, drink water. Look out a window quietly. Let your mind feel uncomfortable for a while. Let the discomfort teach you. Then sit down and work for 25 minutes on the hardest thing on your list. Just one block. That is all you need. Do this small thing for 7 days straight. Track nothing. Measure nothing. Just keep the appointment with yourself daily. By day 7, you will notice something quietly different. Your thoughts will hold longer than before. Your work will feel closer to you. You will remember what your attention used to feel like inside, and you will realize it never actually left you at all. It was simply being outbid by faster, louder, emptier signals every day. You just stopped showing up at the auction for it. This is the quiet revolution almost nobody is willing to make. It looks like nothing from the outside. It changes everything from the inside. The people who reclaim their focus do not become superhuman overnight. They simply stop trading their depth for cheap stimulation. That trade was never fair to begin with. You were given one mind and a finite number of hours. The hidden reason your focus disappears is that both are being spent without your permission daily. If this gave you a piece of language for something you have been feeling, leave a comment with one word that describes your focus right now. If you want more of these quiet truths about attention, deep work, and the mind, subscribe and stay close to this channel. The world is going to keep getting faster every year. Your job is not to match its speed at all. Your job is to remember your own original pace. Your focus did not disappear into nothing. It is buried under noise you can choose to remove deliberately. Lower the noise, and what you thought you lost will walk back into the room on its own. Your attention is not a skill you sharpen. It is a soil you protect. Tend it carefully, and your whole life will quietly follow.